You want a chicken nugget?
I'm good, thank you. Don't want your pity nugget.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast, where we discuss the spirit of Kentucky. My name's Perry. Thank you guys for being here this week. We have the Home Base Boys back together for the first time in a while.
I know.
Who's that?
Last time you guys were the Sleepy Boys.
That sounds like a baseball podcast. The
Who's
Home
on
Base
first?
Boys.
Home Base Boys. What's on second? I'm not going through the whole thing.
I don't know.
It's too exhausting. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey. Welcome back to the show. We each have our own microphones now. We upgraded.
Yeah, we did.
No, I have this little...
No more rock band? Wow.
Oh, I still have the rock band. It's
Just cleverly disguised.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Now
got
it's,
a
the jazz band.
We upgraded.
Yes.
But so hopefully this improves the quality of the show. We'll find out. But anyway, it's been a while since we've all three sat down together. Every time I say that, you have to.
I'm sorry. It's just ingrained in me. It's instained in me.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice pun.
Thank you.
I guess. I don't know. Guys, what you been drinking recently since we've seen each other?
Water.
Okay. That it? We just got off a Derby weekend.
Yeah, I was in Columbus. No, I've been drinking. What have I been drinking?
I've been drinking.
I've been drinking.
I've been drinking heavily.
I have.
Four Roses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just the regular
Yeah.
yellow label?
Just General Four Roses.
Just why not?
My favorite Civil War figure. General Four Roses.
General Four Roses.
Yes. I feel like that's been it. I'm trying to think what else is on my shelf right now. You go.
As he's finishing up a bite.
Yeah. I've been having Basil Hayden.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Nope.
As I like to call it, bourbon flavored water.
Hazel Baden.
Hazel Baden. Yeah.
Hazel
That's a fun
Baden.
one.
Why? What possessed you to purchase the bottle?
I did not purchase it.
Oh, it was
that is why
gifted?
I've been drinking it.
Well, for whoever
Free bourbon
gave you
stuff.
that bottle, and if they're listening, I'm sorry.
He probably is. So
Oh, who
yeah,
was it?
Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Jeez. Okay, I'll cut that part out.
No, you're good. We'll hear it.
I've always just wished that Basil Hayden was just a higher proof.
Really.
Yeah, because I think that
It is kind of a little light.
yeah, it's like 80 proof, and I also think too that it's like the perfect starter bourbon.
What are we drinking?
Oh, we're drinking Heaven Hill 6-year.
Okay.
The just the 90 proof. We're drinking all Heaven Hill products on the show tonight.
Yeah, I didn't see the port, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, it's
There are 3 bottles here.
it's it's a secret.
yeah.
Why
It's a
not?
guess.
What's it taste like?
Makers. I'm guessing makers.
No, it's that no.
No, I'm joking.
Close.
Very close. Same town.
Makers Mark,
Ish.
Heaven Hill. They both start with the same letters twice. Alliteration. They're both
Okay,
alliteration.
they're alliterations.
Yeah.
There we go.
Emanation, not the same.
I also had Jefferson's Reserve,
Ooh.
Very nice.
but the port finish.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is that the one on the boat?
Just the Ocean's Voyage.
Ocean's
Yeah,
Voyage.
that's
not
it.
Like,
port
they
finish.
have-
Okay, yeah.
they have
'Cause
other-
port is a boat thing, so my mind went.
When boat.
Yeah, so I was like, I know they have one that's on
starboard.
a boat, and I've had it, but
What are the other? Oh, it doesn't matter. No, Jefferson's has the Ocean.
yes.
Which would, we talked about it last week with Chad and Sarah, actually. Started out as an experiment and turned into this whole thing where they were like, hey, this is actually kind of cool.
And we're led by a circus ringleader, apparently. Hey, this is
Hey.
Cool. Or I'm from the 40s or something.
Yeah.
40s, 30s, something like that.
Also a good time for the circus.
Now, not so much.
When was the
We
last
actually
time
care
you went
about
to the
animals.
circus?
When was the last time I've been to the circus? I was probably
Yeah.
7 or 8,
Forever ago.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Last week for me.
Really?
I'm joking. No.
I was like, wow.
Gonna say-
It's like, do they still even have circuses, really?
I mean,
Barnum
not
and Bailey
often.
is broken up, I believe.
Yeah.
Or the Ringling Brothers. One of
Broken
those.
it up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're no longer touring together.
They
You
broke
just
up
get Barnum or
like the
Bailey.
Beatles.
Yeah. It's,
Welcome to the Barnum Circus.
welcome to PT a night with PT Barnum.
Yeah.
His solo career never really took off, but he only had like the smaller animals, and Bailey
Yeah.
got like the big ones.
But he has no way to transport
Yeah.
them. Barnum had all the trucks.
just to ride the elephants down the road,
It's
and
a
like
pain in the ass.
and
It's
he's
so
got them all
slow.
like tied together by
Yeah.
a rope.
Yeah.
It's a very weird alternate universe that we've created.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Jeffersons. It's very good.
Yes, very
I love
good
Tom.
indeed.
He's my favorite Jefferson. The Jeffersons, like they're in
Like
name.
the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
I was
Anyway.
making a historical reference.
So yes, we are drinking Heaven Hill Green Label, as it's lovingly known.
Well, is it lovingly?
Some
It's
of
kind of
us.
just
Yeah.
obvious, right?
Yeah,
It's
people
like
like it.
Sure.
green
sure.
label. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. That's the one.
Let's try.
that loving?
Let's not try any
I
harder
don't
than that.
But
It's just obvious.
So we've talked a lot about how much we like the Heaven Hill 6-year bottle and bond.
Uh-huh.
How does this stack up for you guys in comparison? You both have to take a sip in order to know.
It's pretty good. I'm fine with this bourbon.
I still like the bottle and bond better.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just think it has more flavor. I think it's just a product of being 10 proof points higher than
yeah,
The-
there's
the
more
green
flavor,
label
and
is-
then also like it's just even though it's 10 points higher, it's still it doesn't have much of the burn as this. I think as
Yeah,
this does.
I don't think so
Yeah.
either.
This is a very standard bourbon in all places.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's got a decent enough burn to get the idea of what a burn is.
Yeah,
It's like
Actually-
a tutorial bourbon.
Yeah, I don't like the aftertaste very much.
Yeah, I get that.
It's kind of a weird coating on the tongue.
yeah,
Like,
actually, I keep taking sips of water after, and I think that might be why.
it goes away, it comes back again.
Yeah.
You keep wondering, why am I actually doing this?
Where am I? Where am I?
How long have I been drinking?
What is life?
makes you hallucinate.
Real quick, before we get into the topic, what I've been drinking. I got a bottle of Larceny a couple weeks ago that I'm almost
And I got
done
really
with.
choked up about it. What was
Yeah.
that?
Very emotional here.
I revisited
I drank Larceny
it.
too recently.
Yeah, they are good.
I kind of forgot how much I liked it, and then saw it at Total Wine for like $18.
Nice.
Where it normally runs about 22, 24.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I really need to hop on this. So I did, and it's almost gone.
It's a good sign.
Yeah. This Elijah Craig, Larceny is another Heaven Hill. It's funny that that's kind of the train that I've been on recently.
Yeah.
This Elijah Craig, I've been drinking a lot recently as well. We're going to do that for the review later on. And, I have something I want you guys to try too.
Okay.
Are you okay? Are you okay with
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
No,
Okay.
no,
No. Hold
no.
on.
I don't want to try it.
It just scared me the way it
Yeah,
came about.
No, I was thinking about what I've been drinking, and then realized that this is something that I've been drinking on.
Oh.
He pulled out an unmarked bottle with 3 skulls on it. And I'm not very.
Big
Not
X's.
feeling very good about that.
I mean,
It's a glowing green liquid. I don't think it's bourbon.
It
Absinthe,
smells
maybe?
like it
Maybe
smells
it's
like
absinthe.
death. It smells like death. And no, okay. So a couple weeks ago, Lucy and I went to Jim Beam for a Knob Creek barrel pick.
Mr. Beam himself.
Mr. Beam himself. Yes, we went to
Okay,
the Jim
cool.
Beam Distillery for Knob Creek barrel pick. So this is something that like I helped
Pick.
Oh, nice.
pick
Yeah, that's awesome.
for Liquor Barn.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So like you can actually go and buy it in a couple of weeks.
That's really cool.
So I wanted you guys just to like I'll pour just like a little bit.
I saw
in
you,
one of these Glencairns.
Instagram storying it, I think.
yeah, it was
yeah.
on it because I remember you standing by the egregious statue of Mr. Jimothy
Yeah.
Beam.
He looks like he's being blown over by the wind.
Yeah, he's a little too like railroad conductory looking in that statue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, boy, I've been blown away by this bourbon. It's
Wow.
like, what wind is coming from?
You know, he
Yeah.
definitely sounded like that too.
Yes, of course. Jimothy Beam absolutely sounded like that.
Okay, so I want you guys to try this. I'm not going to tell you anything about it until after you've
Again, it's just poison.
had it. Meaning, like, I'm not going to tell you like stats on it or anything. Excuse me.
It definitely does not smell like 120 proof.
That's because it's 40 proof. It's actually not bourbon at all.
No, it's legally not bourbon.
I really like the nose.
Yeah.
The nose
I know.
is great.
Whoa.
And remember too, I got to try this straight from the barrel. Like they dumped it out for us. And,
Yeah.
And I mean, not completely dumped.
Yeah.
But
Wow. That's good. Ooh, I'm getting like
Yeah.
smoky.
It's got layers.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it
got
really
layers.
does.
Uh-huh.
It really does.
Onions have layers.
But I love that. I don't know. For me, it started out with the more of your like lighter caramel.
Yeah, it got
floral
progressively
kind of notes.
heavier.
And
Yeah.
then it just progressively got to the more charred barrel
Yeah, that's weird.
smoke.
So if you had to guess, based on everything you've said, how old would you think this is? It's not 9 years, like it says on the bottle,
Okay,
because that's just what the standard Knob Creek single barrel is. It's just basically 9 years.
but it can be anything
With
above or-
their picks, it can be anything above.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what would you think the age is? What would you think it came out of the barrel at, proof wise?
Gosh, so we're guessing how much it's been cut.
Yeah.
Do you want to go or you want me to?
You can go.
All right, I'm going to say 11 year.
Okay.
I don't think it's been cut a lot. I'm going to say 150 proof.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it was aged in the 11, 12 years.
Okay.
That's 23.
Okay, so the 23rd, yeah, right. Them have that a barrel pick.
I mean, if it's the best thing and you're like, hey, this is what I want, they'll give it to you.
Yeah,
You know.
There's that. So
So he's saying 23 years.
no, yeah, no. I'm saying the 11th or the 12th year.
Okay.
And I'll put it at. I'm gonna say 140.
Okay. You're both wrong. It's 14 years old.
Damn, okay.
It came out of the barrel at 121 proof.
121. So it's
Wow.
pretty much.
So it's not been
It's-
cut at all.
It's cut
Basically.
about they put about a gallon of water in
No,
to cut it down.
This is amazing.
That's
so
cool.
it's basically a barrel proof
Yeah.
bourbon. And
Oh, yeah.
and what we did before.
No wonder I'm getting all those.
I know
Yeah.
exactly, and that's what I was saying too. Is that like if you're getting like the charred oak, I mean that's a product of the fact that it's
Been in
that
the barrel.
old
And
and
straight out of the barrel. pretty
basically,
much.
yeah. And we did
When
this
can I get this?
in like 3 weeks.
All right, let me know.
Yeah, I will. But we basically
where? And-
Liquor Barn,
Where?
and it'll probably be I
Where
don't know
in
which
Liquor
one.
Barn?
I would say probably the Hamburg one.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'll the guy from Liquor Barn is actually supposed to get in contact with us and let us know when it's going to be available.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'll let you guys know, and I'll let the our listeners know too when it's available. But we basically did so. We wound up picking 2 bourbons and 2 ryes that day. This was the first bourbon. The second bourbon's going to come out probably in about 8 weeks, and then I don't know when the ryes are going to come out. But anyway, so before we picked everything, his name escapes me. I cannot think of it. But anyway, our guide, our spirit guide for the
A ghost?
it was very strange. Jim Beam himself
Jimothy
stepped
Bingo.
up from the grave.
Whoa, I'm blown away at this windless facility.
Constantly in Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
But anyway, he asked us, do you want me to let you know the stats on it like I did with you guys? Or do you want to wait until after it's done? And
I'd want to wait.
yeah, and I mean, we
Figured that's
unanimously said wait until we've tried it first.
Yeah.
And both of the bourbons that we picked were 14 years old.
Wow.
The second one came out of the barrel at 130 proof, I think. So that one's going to have more bottles than this one is.
Right.
And the rye that I really liked didn't get picked, but it was maybe the best thing I've ever tried
Oh, good.
in my entire life.
We'll never get to
and
try
I'll
it.
never get
Yeah.
to I'll never get to have it again. But the other 2 ryes were actually pretty good too. It's
Yeah.
just, I was much more excited about the bourbon aspect of it all, and
Sure.
Anyway, I'll let you guys know when it comes out in a few weeks.
No, you can't do that to us. You give us Heaven Hill
Yeah.
And then
green label, and
bump
then,
it up to the Knob
then
Creek.
you bump it up to the Knob Creek
I should have
single
saved.
barrel.
I should have saved it. For
And
the
now I'm
very
trying.
end.
Now I'm trying this, and
now
I'm
it's
like,
like Heaven Hill's back, and it's
now I'm just like, let me just pour this out real quick.
great value bourbon. Yeah.
Just value bourbon, like
Those taste like 2 completely different things.
I know.
Like
I mean, they literally are, but
no, I mean like completely different types of alcohol.
yeah.
And you can definitely tell the quality too.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And the age and and the proof
the
and
proof,
everything. I mean,
everything.
it's just. Yeah, so in a couple of weeks, you guys can have this
Yeah,
again. And
I might buy more than one.
there's a chance I will too.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, that's good stuff.
Look, and the great thing about it too is that it like at $45 for a 14-year-old bourbon that's
Yeah, that's
almost barrel
crazy.
proof.
Now, was this with this is Bourbon Night, or it's Bourbon Night?
No,
Sorry.
no.
I just combined both our names.
Yeah, I know. Somebody else did that
This
before.
is our bourbon night
Yeah,
shop
Yeah.
It's
podcast.
podcast.
Oh, which reminds me.
It's our bourbon pod now, actually.
Yeah, I changed all the social media around. So if you are listening to this and you haven't connected with us on social media yet, but you've listened to old episodes, don't use the old episodes as your guide.
Yeah.
Because we have gone from this at my bourbon shop to at my bourbon pod.
Gotcha.
On all of our social media.
Less confusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
More consolidated.
Yes. So our social media is based solely around the podcast now.
Cool.
But This Is My Bourbon Shop is still our official place to buy our merchandise
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
everything.
Okay.
You know, yeah. Like the official shop location. Right.
Got it.
So at My Bourbon Pod is where you want to find us on social media now.
A bourbon pod sounds like an alcohol based deprivation tank, and I'm all about it.
I thought maybe it was a Tide Pod that tasted like bourbon,
good.
but
The kids will love that.
which
The very narrow 21 and up year olds who can eat Tide Pods are gonna just go crazy.
can eat them or choose to eat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do. I guess anyone can eat a Tide Pod.
Honestly, I'd rather them eat a bourbon pod.
That's true.
Like-
Maybe just eat the bottle.
Yeah.
Just eat the bottle. Probably safer than eating
It's going to be
Tide
the
Pod.
same result,
Yeah,
right?
your inside
Kids
can
these
eat away.
days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freaking millennial.
Yeah, jeez.
We're all three millennials, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Anyway, okay, so our topic for today, I think it's going to be like Kentucky tradition.
Okay.
But
Where's
we just got, huh?
I said, where's that? The joke
It's
is
on-
we're in Kentucky.
It's on the shelf with Kentucky Tavern and Kentucky Gentleman.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the third.
Kentucky tradition? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad bourbon name.
No, it's actually
For
pretty
something
good.
pretty cheap,
but you
yeah.
have to make sure that it's a quality,
Yeah.
storied kind of,
Yeah, because Kentucky Gentleman certainly did that.
and it's not very good.
Yeah.
No.
It was Kentucky Tavern. But anyway, so we just came off of Derby weekend,
Yes.
which is, I think, one of the biggest traditions in Kentucky. I mean, we've been
Oh,
doing
yes.
it for 144 years.
I'd say
Along
the
with
biggest.
fried
Yeah.
chicken and
Yeah.
And bourbon.
yes. Trying to think of a joke that's not problematic. Toward myself, really.
I don't know where you're going with
No,
this.
just
so.
move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, and throughout the show, as we lead up to our review of the Elijah Craig Small Batch, we're just going to be drinking Heaven Hill products. Kurt, you and I had this last time we did an
Yeah.
episode, but we mixed it.
Oh.
And so
Yep.
he's never actually had it straight before.
True.
But this is JTS Brown, which is another Heaven Hill bottled and bond product. Heaven Hill.
Speaking of which, where's that that one shooter bourbons that we had? The
Shooter bourbons.
Yeah, the airplane. What was it? What did we have?
Oh, the Winchester.
Yeah, what happened to the Winchester? I really could go for some of that.
Taryn, let me tell you, you're really missing out on the Winchester.
dude.
I'm assuming it's terrible from the way you're goofing about it.
Maybe the worst thing I've ever
Oh,
had.
good.
We poured
not-
it out, and it
not-
was only like a little airplane bottle.
Oh, and couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny when
Both
you
of
said
us.
airplane, instead of thinking like a normal person, like an airplane bottle of alcohol, I thought it was shaped like an airplane. And I was like, why is it
Like
Winchester?
an airplane decanter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, why is it
makes no
Winchester? It
sense.
should be a gun if it's a Winchester.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually. Hey, Winchester bourbon, get on that.
Hey,
Make it a decanter shaped like
Get
a Winchester gun.
Because something's gonna have to help it.
It was not the worst thing I've ever had. I will say that much, but it was certainly up there. I mean, we did have the Woodford smoked barley.
I don't
Master's
know.
Collection
I think
after
well, I think the Winchester was still worse.
Yeah? Have you had any more of that since then?
Nope.
So somebody,
touched it.
I don't blame you based on our experience with it, but somebody commented on and I'm sorry I can't remember your name right now. But somebody commented on our Instagram post about the Woodford cherry smoked barley, and said that once they got down to, as they put it, the shoulders of the bottle, and they let it sit for a while, it actually opened up.
Really?
I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, mine's been at, even when we drank it, it was really at the shoulders, I would say.
Yeah. Tanner? You put the... Oh, I thought you were putting the hand up to say I had something to say.
No, I'm not raising my hand. Sorry, I'm scratching my nose. My hand just so happened to be near my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't drink that Winchester.
No.
Really,
Don't
drink unless you want lead poisoning.
Don't drink either. Anything
with Helen Mirren.
Essentially, anything we drank last podcast, don't drink it except the JTS Bond. What is it?
JTS Brown.
Brown, yeah.
Bottled and Bond. And even then, like, you didn't get to try it neat because we were mixing it.
Yeah.
So you're not going to know entirely what it tastes like until right now.
Yeah.
Perry
I poured too much Heaven Hill.
Far too much Heaven Hill for
I'm very
me.
sorry. Look, if you want to pour that back in the bottle and pour some of this JTS Brown, I'm not gonna frown upon it.
This is going to be an interesting effort.
But to get you back on the rails on what you were talking about, the history of it and all that. What you were talking about, the history of the JTS Brown, before I rudely interrupted. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well. What I was gonna say is that Heaven Hill has the most Bottled and Bond products of any distillery in, not just Kentucky, really, I think in the world.
Really? Okay.
Well, in the United States, I don't think that you can do. Can you actually do Bottled and Bond outside of, like, you can't do bourbon outside of the United States because, like, legally it has to be in the U.S.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can do Bottled and Bond outside of the U.S. and still have it legally be that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Heaven Hill has the most Bottled and Bond products out of any distillery. JTS Brown, the Heaven Hill 6-year BIB, JW Dant. Of course, I can't remember the rest of them as I'm sitting here. Old Fitzgerald, Bottled and Bond. And then you add on like the 11-year Bottled and Bond that came out this year for the first time. They really are kind of cornering the market when it comes to the
Bottled and Bond.
Yeah. This is a very low cost, high proof bourbon. 100 proof, of course, because it's Bottled and Bond. Mm-hmm. And I think I got this for about $12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Which is about $2 more than the 90 proof Heaven Hill. I think I would prefer the JTS Brown, honestly. Especially for $2 more.
For the higher, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're all three going, this is a better quality bourbon. It's got more flavor to it.
Yeah.
And, you're not really digging deep to buy it. As we kind of proved on our last episode together, it's great for mixing.
Yeah.
It doesn't overpower what it is paired with in a cocktail.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Except with the Coke. We just both agreed that Coke and bourbon just kind of...
Well, that Coke, the bourbon and Coke was bad because it was warm.
Yeah.
So...
Nobody likes a warm Coke.
And then we went to a warm Ale 8 bourbon.
Yeah. My favorite.
Yeah, which we were talking about too on that episode. We were like, if only Tanner.
Also, look at the
is
description on the last episode.
Yeah,
jeez.
I mean, it's over now because the next episode you were on, you hadn't listened to it, but that's okay. We'll make up for it maybe next time that we do. Yeah. And honestly, if you just want to hear me after a long day at Keeneland,
yeah.
Oh God!
Listen to that episode because it's a lot of fun, and I'm very tired, and probably had more bourbon than I needed to have had. At that point.
But I guess I'll speak on that when we're talking about our Kentucky tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Derby stuff.
For those of you too lazy to pull it up, hey Tanner, if you're listening to this episode, we really do mean what we said. What did you say?
You have to listen.
Okay, all right. I was wondering if it was like before. All right.
No.
Okay.
No, you have to listen and find out.
All right. Well, I got homework to do, apparently. I'll listen to it tomorrow morning.
It's what, like an hour out of your...
Yeah, I'll listen to it on the drive to work.
Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly. Anyway, find that out, and then next time you're on,
Respond?
we'll reconvene.
Create
Yes.
create a retort? All right.
Yeah.
Imagine y'all dunking on Ale and bourbon.
Oh, no.
Okay,
we
all right.
actually
It was
right.
more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm very curious to what this is. All right. I'll
Yeah.
listen.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway,
wasn't
moving
any
on.
shows
Let's get this episode back a little on
Yeah,
track.
so Kentucky traditions. Like I said, this past weekend was Derby. I got to ask you guys, what did you guys do for Derby?
Well, I work at Keeneland.
I got very drunk, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way.
Yeah. So I work at Keeneland. We always have this like huge Derby party, and I took off work and ended up going to Keeneland. Imagine that.
Wow.
I know. Well, it's because all my friends wanted to go, so I was like, oh, okay, we'll go. But I mean, it was still had a good time, and the private select Keeneland.
Did we talk about that?
We talked
we talked about that
it.
last time.
But I had that.
The Makers
For Derby.
Private Select.
Yeah, Makers
It's
Private Select.
So good.
Oh,
It's a little
very
expensive,
good. Yes, it is.
but
But definitely worth it.
yeah.
I mean, it's very good.
I agree with you.
Good bourbon.
I agree with you. I don't, and like again, I don't know anything about the staves that they put in the barrel to
No.
finish it with, but
Which I should ask that. I'll have to ask.
oh, you should,
Yeah.
yeah. We have an insider.
Yeah.
Tanner, what'd you do for Derby?
I did nothing related to the Derby. I was in Columbus watching My Brother and Me live,
Uh-huh.
which was very fun.
Really?
And they then did a bit on the Derby, talking about the dumb horse names. But that's it. That's all
Okay.
I did for. I didn't watch the Derby this year.
What were
'Cause it
some
was
of their
so
dumb
wet.
horse names?
It was
It was the
miserable.
wettest Derby in history, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Well, it was.
It was nice
very
though to
miserable.
see that none of the horses got injured.
Yes.
because that's always
Oh,
my
yeah.
worry when it rains at the Derby.
An
is that,
8-bell situation.
Yeah, that's a sad story.
It is.
Thanks for bringing us down, but
Sorry,
if you
but
don't
that's-
know
that's
about
the-
8 bells, go and look up that
Sad
story.
horse story.
Yeah, it was so
First year I've not watched
depressing.
the Derby in probably 10 years, but I had other things.
I don't think that I've missed a Derby in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even had a gig last year,
Still watched it.
and still watched it. But granted, we played at a a brewery.
Oh, well, there you
And
go.
everybody was like kind of excited and a little bit drunk,
Yeah, sure.
ready to go. So of course we still watched it, but like even it's just so funny that like I get so excited about the Derby every year, even
Yeah.
though it's like, I mean, to most people it's like nothing.
Curtis,
Yeah.
did you and I watch the Derby last year together? Or we watched some of the races before together?
You were at Tom's house.
We watched some of the races before.
Last year.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we drove over to Tom's.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Did you guys
I
actually
remember.
watch the Derby at Tom's though?
No, I think we
No.
watched it before at your place.
We watched it before at my place.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember us betting on it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I forgot.
Together?
I forgot I was with Curtis because I didn't have
I forgot
an
that
account,
too.
and I placed a bet through Curtis.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought what you meant was like the two of you betted like against each other.
Oh, sure, yeah.
No.
in the field.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining like, well, my horse didn't win. Well, my horse didn't win either. So I guess we don't know each other.
Yeah, I guess money's fine. Yeah.
Call it even.
Yeah. And like Derby's such a good time too for like going to parties.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Kentucky kind of goes all out for Derby.
Yeah, it's
too.
kind of crazy how much everybody's just so invested in the
Yeah.
Derby.
Like Lucy and I went to a party where they hired a bartender.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's extra.
So like I said, I drank a lot.
Yeah.
And like I think
Was it
that
free?
yes.
Oh,
Are you serious?
that's a bad
Yeah.
evening or a great evening.
No,
Yeah.
it was a great
It's
evening.
a great evening.
but could turn easily into a bad evening.
Bad for the person that bought it.
I will say though, like I was just drinking bourbon the whole night.
Just straight.
I had one mint julep, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was drinking it straight
you
for
have
most of it.
to. You have to.
You
Yeah.
do, but like if I'm drinking anything else, and then I have a drink that's really really sweet,
Nah, it's just bad news.
it's all over.
Yeah.
you know. And like as soon as I took like 2 sips of that mint julep, I was like,
Nope.
this night is over, and it was. I mean, by that point, I was like, I can't go in. I can't go on anymore.
I can't go on.
Yeah.
I can no longer go.
Perry had a good derby.
I did have
Yeah.
a really good derby. I mean, we started at like 3:00 in the afternoon. And
Oof. What time did you finish?
You know, I say that like I was done after after the mint julep, but I think I came home and had a little bit more too. I mean, I also woke up. We all three kind of woke up in a day.
We were all on
Yeah, Sunday was a funny day because we were supposed to record then, and everybody was like, "Can we not?
Can we just
like, this is fine, but can we not?"
Yeah.
So I woke up the latest of you guys, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to be over there in a couple hours," and then I was like, "Oh, thank God, no one's feeling it."
Your voice was also shot.
Yeah,
right?
I had no voice yesterday from laughing so hard.
I mean, there was no way that we could have done a
sure,
good
I would have
episode.
been like, "This bourbon's really good." Yeah, would have not been good.
But anyway, like, I don't really entirely remember the rest of the night.
Sure, yeah.
After I got home.
whatever.
Like, I remember getting in the car. I mean, Lucy drove. I remember getting in the car.
Good.
I put on
That was problematic.
I put on Anderson .Paak,
Beautiful.
and that was just kind of the end of my night.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. All
So
right.
whatever happened after that,
Post pack, don't remember.
couldn't tell you. I woke up the next day and looked at my phone, and like, you know how you don't have an iPhone. You know how on iPhones, like after you've been playing something and you put it on the lock screen,
Yeah.
like it pops up to continue playing something.
Hey, my phone does that too.
Oh, well, all right.
Hashtag justice for Android. I have a Galaxy S9 Edge.
Android Fandroid.
Yeah, or S9 Plus. Sorry, that's what it's called. The big one. Yeah. The big boy.
Big boy. Okay, so, but I gotta ask though, do you guys even really like mint juleps that much?
They're fine.
For Derby, I'll have one.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine regularly drinking a mint.
Do you
No.
know they started out as a breakfast drink?
I did not know that.
No.
That's jarring a little bit. Because when I think breakfast drink, I think like a mimosa or maybe a Bloody Mary or something that's like barely alcohol tasting.
Yeah.
And that's not what a mint julep is.
Limestone Branch does a bourbon Bloody Mary.
Interesting. I think Carson's does too.
I've only been to Carson's a couple of times.
I believe Carson's does a Bloody Mary with like every liquor.
all at once.
Well, no, like a vodka Mary,
Like an
a tequila
LIT
Mary.
for the morning.
Oh my
Gosh,
gosh.
Jesus. Gosh. No, I think they do
Are
one
you
with vodka,
hungover?
they do one with tequila, they do one with
Do you want
whiskey.
to reignite 3 a.m. Curtis? Then try our LIT where you think that you're gonna die.
Get lit.
That's the hashtag.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't know. I'm not as big of a cocktail person, but
I like a cocktail.
I mean, I do from time to time. I just prefer.
Yeah.
I prefer straight bourbon, but mint juleps, I just don't think do it for me.
I, as someone who I believe of us prefers cocktails the most, I also think mint juleps are a very rare occasion. Not only because they're so specific in the way they taste. Like, it's not like I could go for a bourbon cocktail. What do I have at my disposal? I have an old fashioned. I could do a bourbon in some mixer. It's just like mint julep never comes into that conversation for me. And they're a hassle to make. Like, they are kind of complex for a cocktail.
They take a lot of time.
I put weird emphasis on the word cocktail. I was like, they're complex for a cocktail. So I think that, I think the mint juleps are a very special occasion. You buy the things to make them beforehand, and then you're just having mint juleps or whatever. And I don't think I've ever had more than 2 in a sitting.
I haven't either.
Like, it's just not something you want a lot of.
Again, they're just too sweet.
Yeah, they're just too much, I think. Like, in mint, because I just don't want a lot of mint throughout my night. It's like, man, I could go for some more mint.
Yeah.
It's like chewing like an 8th piece of gum in an hour.
Mint and sugar.
Yeah.
Like straight. And that's what they taste like to me. Like, I don't even get a whole lot of bourbon with mint
No, you
juleps.
don't.
I mean, it really just kind of is like, here's some mint leaves. We dumped like some pure cane sugar on top of it. Enjoy.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
We let it sit for a couple hours.
I'm good.
That's where the bourbon comes from.
Where was I? So, but Derby this year was kind of special, right? Because not only was it on, the first Saturday of May, but the first Saturday of May this year happened to be Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
But hasn't it been that way before?
Not since I've experienced Derby to its fullest extent.
Okay. I was just curious.
I have no idea.
I mean, did you guys do anything to cross celebrate?
Cross celebrate? No. We planned on it. We planned
we
on
did
doing
too.
that, and then we ended up being like,
I mean, celebrating Cinco de Mayo is a little problematic.
True too.
Not real hype about Mexico's surprise victory at San Pueblo. That's a little weird that we all get real hyped to have a margarita.
It's just an excuse to have a margarita.
But you can just do that without saying
I know.
Rebellion. It's a little problematic for 3 white people to be like, yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Hey.
Yes. But that being said, no, I didn't do anything. I was still, again, in Columbus.
Well, we were going to go to West 6th because they had a big Cinco party going on.
Interesting.
I think from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until question mark.
Oh, good.
But it was so gross outside.
Yeah, it was
nasty. We just went back home. We were like,
Well, Lucy was out that morning and then came back and she was like, do you still want to go? And I was like,
It's one of those, thank God, I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. I was thinking it and you said it, but
we're good.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird day where you kind of, those days where you're like, I have to make the best of this.
Yeah.
That's kind of how
I gotta salvage what this is.
Yeah, that's kind of how this derby felt this year. But what is and it could very well mean nothing, but what does derby mean to you guys?
Big hats.
Big hats and bourbon.
And weird and D-list.
I don't know why we always fall back on the Sesame Street accent.
Sesame Street was so good.
But we always kind of fall back on that accent.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway.
No,
it's a reference for.
I usually think of being home. Just so we'd never my family never really went all out for derby, but we would maybe make some party food and just kind of chill. Not a big drinking family, so it would just be my mom and me just kind of hanging out. So I don't really think of it as woo, let's get blitzed. It's the derby. It's just more hey, let's watch far too long pre-coverage about these horses.
It goes on for forever.
And maybe just be on our phones doing dumb trivia or board games or something while the derby's on. But then watch the derby and then you're good. That's usually it for me.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
well, you're not even from Kentucky.
Well,
you're in Ohio.
I'm not from Kentucky, so we never
you foreigner.
We never really watched it or anything when I was in high school or stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, since I've came down here and I've gotten more into the horse industry and the thoroughbred racing, so
yeah, you're more into horses than I am.
Yeah, so now it's become more of a tradition. Lately, the past 3 or 4 years, I've been going. I go home and then my parents and we watch the derby and we bet on the derby and it's just a good experience that way. But I don't. It's not anything super special for me.
Yeah,
I love. Recently, it has been just because I've been keeping up with the horses and who they are since I'm in that industry.
Watching all the interviews with the horses.
Yeah. They literally Ed the horse, right?
Yeah. Mr. Ed, yeah.
Mr. Ed, Mr. Ed the horse.
I you very quickly were yeah. Wait.
Slip that one in there.
Sorry.
Which honestly, they do interview the horse sometimes, so I don't know.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I had something else.
But I mean,
that threw me way off.
Yeah. But derby's fun. It's fun to drink and have a good time and watch something that you usually don't watch.
Yeah.
For most general people, anyway.
Right.
And somebody
to have
said
that fun experience.
Somebody said recently too that derby is the time of year for people who act like they know something about horse racing.
Sure. Yeah.
To start talking like they know about horse racing. Mm-hmm. And then they just get drunk afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing to so many people.
Yeah.
Other than a status icon, or status quo, or whatever.
Which I will say that it's starting to become a bigger thing now, though.
I will
just
agree.
because the coverage and media coverage has been so much more prevalent.
It's a dead time for anything else, sport other than baseball.
Yeah, but
sports
even
going on and
even besides that, though, NBC's now started airing Breeders' Cup and
that's true.
All the Derby prep races and all of the heavy hitting races.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's becoming more prevalent in that.
And
Rob Gronkowski bought half of a horse because the name
Which
was
Which half?
Had to be the back half of front, right?
Yeah.
Had to be.
It's the back half.
Had to be the back half.
I'm so happy that you went there too.
Named Gronkowski. And then
The
he
horse
didn't
was
even
named Gronkowski?
Yeah, and then he didn't even run in the Derby.
Gronk didn't? Well, he's a human.
Well, no, the horse didn't. Yeah.
But
Which I thought was funny. I'm sure he did. He bought the horse because he wanted to see it in the Derby, and then
and it didn't even run.
then it didn't even run because he got a fever, and they didn't ship him over because he was from, I think, Great Britain.
Gosh,
Jesus.
now, but like you said, it's a dead time for sports, but like I saw an article
Maybe
today.
Playoffs, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like
it's
like,
during the day.
but apparently, though, based on numbers, like the Derby lost viewers because of the NBA playoffs
Starting,
going
yeah,
on,
that makes sense.
you know. So I mean, it may be dead, but there are still other things that people are interested in.
That's fair. It
I don't
also
know.
was a terrible looking Derby this year.
It looked awful.
When it's prettier, it's bound to have more views.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for sure,
Nobody
for
wants
sure.
to watch Horse Mud. Which is the name of my new HBO documentary.
Or the next horse.
Yeah, just mud.
A horse named Mud. Is that a joke? A horse named Mud?
I thought you were
so.
just asking, did we just do a joke?
No.
Is that a joke we've done? Have we finally done one on the show? Have we finally done a joke?
26
Good
episodes
job.
in, and we're like, is that a
Finally
joke?
joked.
Oh man,
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We apologize that we not joked sooner.
But like, you know, I don't think Curtis can speak to this as much because he's not an Ohio.
Go back
he's
to
not a
Ohio.
Kentucky.
You Buckeye.
Whoa!
Well,
All right.
Mother Bucker. No, just
Oh,
okay.
but like,
dear
what do you
Wendy's.
think? Like,
He's aggressively drinking in my ear. You can't hear that.
Yeah.
jeez, like
This
what
episode
is it that like makes the Derby special to our heritage, though?
We live here. Sorry to be that blunt about it, but it really is just,
Jeez.
it's named Kentucky, and we're like, hell yeah, that has our name on it. Sorry to shut you down, but that's the truth.
You really did, because I was going to talk about how like it's, you know, a symbol of not just, you know, our daggone it, Tanner. Like it's not just like a symbol of, you know, what we work towards in like our economy and everything, but like, you know, it's also a time where we get to celebrate what makes Kentucky Kentucky. You know, and you're just going,
There's a
no.
derby here. Like,
Horse and bourbon. But the entire horse industry is pretty much revolved around Lexington and
Sure, yeah.
and Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's where most all the really good horses are from. That's where all the breeding
Yeah.
is done. So
Yeah.
in terms of that, I mean, it's a huge tradition in that fact, and it holds up a lot of the Kentucky economy, I would imagine.
Yeah.
sure.
So I mean,
Especially tourism.
it's bigger than that, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like,
if it were in Ohio, we wouldn't be like, oh man, this means
Yeah.
my personal legacy.
Exactly.
Because our
Yeah.
state name's not on it.
Yeah. I mean, I I think too about like the first couple of years that the Derby was run, and people were like, I'm sure that they were like, this is fine, this is
Yeah.
the thing, and like it caught on after a little
Sure,
while,
sure,
and then
sure.
it became like a part of, you know,
I mean, part of the impressiveness of it is just how long lasting it's been.
yeah,
And so that I get. I mean, that's part of most Kentuckians' identity, even if you don't care about horses, is that, you know,
Right.
if you're in a crowd and somebody says Kentucky Derby, you'll woo because that's where you're from. I experienced this in Columbus.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been out of the country before,
Yeah.
and like, you know, you talk to people who are not from the United States, and you're like, oh, they're like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from Kentucky. I don't know if you're. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, fried chicken and horses.
Yeah, fried chicken, horses, bourbon,
You
and
know.
maybe basketball if they're.
I think that's a long shot.
Sure,
for,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but yeah, it is kind of our identity
Sure.
to some degree. But I also think that it's, you know, I think it's more than that. I think that it is really like something that we all kind of gravitate towards, even if we're not, you know, super interested in it.
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a time where we can all kind of go, I get what it means to be a Kentuckian. And we all root. Well, of course, we all root for the Triple Crown winner.
Right.
You know, but I don't know. And then there's my old Kentucky home, which we're not going to get into.
Sure.
But
Good song.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of the better state songs.
Okay.
look up the history.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that part I'm not really addressing. I meant melodically. It's a fine.
Oh
fine
no, it's
tune.
a good actual song.
Fine tune.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
It's a hard song to like people to sing to.
It's like Happy Birthday.
It's sleepy. Yeah.
Yeah. it's
Happy
just
Birthday
like-
is-
Also written in Kentucky, by the way.
Happy Birthday?
It's
By
just
two
like,
twin sisters in Louisville, I think.
Huh.
And they had the copyright on it and still do. So, like, if you go to a restaurant or if you go, like, hear it on the radio, it's never actually the tune we know as Happy Birthday. It's some variation.
That was true up until a couple of years ago.
Okay, so it's gone now. It's lapsed.
Yeah,
Alright.
like it's actually.
It was 100
I don't
years
know
or
if it's
whatever.
entered into the public domain or the
Yeah.
copyright ran out or whatever.
Sure.
But you can actually use the Happy Birthday tune.
Oh, good.
In things now without having to sing "Jolly Good Fellow." Or
Yeah. Happy
something.
birthday to you. Like, just,
Happy Birthday.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Should we get to our
we should
review?
probably
we
do
move
our
on?
review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about what we're going to review here. We are going to be drinking Elijah Craig's Small Batch,
That was a
94
good one.
proof.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
quick one, but a
let's
good one.
redo it.
Okay.
It was less,
maybe not.
less good, that one.
Yeah. Oh, and I just
You
recorked
just
it.
corked it again.
Anyway, Elijah Craig's Small Batch. It is named after, and if you're listening, you probably know this.
If you're listening, Elijah.
Or Craig.
Welcome back from.
Elijah and Craig. I want my name on it. I wanted to be called Craig Elijah. No.
No, I found it first. Anyway, Elijah Craig is said to be the father of bourbon. Per legend, he was the first one to char the inside of a barrel, which led to. Oh, did you guys really not know this?
No.
Oh,
I know nothing, man.
okay. Well, baby bourbon boy over here,
Yeah.
hanging
that's
out.
my moniker.
This for a long time was age stated at 12 years. You can still kind of find, if you really, really hunt for it, the Big Red 12, which means that it was, yeah, it had a 12 on the front for its
Gotcha.
age.
And it was red,
And
I'm
it was
assuming.
big and it was red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could infer that one.
Then they moved it to the back of the label, and then they did away with it altogether. So I think that this is anywhere from 8 to 12 years.
Okay.
Depending on the profile and everything. It's 94 proof. Honestly, this is one of my favorite, like, everyday bourbons.
Oh.
This is kind of what I like. Without getting into like the review portion of it, this is what I've always said. Like, I expect bourbon to taste like.
Yeah.
So we'll find out if that holds up when we actually put numbers to it. But we're gonna pour a little bit here.
That's
more
way
than a
too
little
much.
bit.
Okay, that's me.
Yeah. We both have to
fine.
drive.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm usually a heavy pourer. I don't mean to be, but
That would be fine if I were taking an Uber. But
You want to split?
what?
You want to split?
Yeah.
Richmond has Uber now, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
know
They're getting a Panera bread. That's awesome.
We already have Panera.
We already have Panera. Or are you saying Uber is? Uber's getting Panera.
They're getting a mobile Panera.
Oh, I guess they're getting a new one.
Where?
What? We need 2 Paneras?
I
We
guess
have
they're
one-
switching locations.
We have one over in.
The mall.
yeah, the mall.
Richmond Center.
They're making another one.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Okay.
Just as I was driving.
Not that anybody's
feel
going to
bad.
understand.
I
like,
honestly feel
the-
bad for anyone outside of Kentucky listening to this podcast right now.
Make a lot of local
It's
references.
been, yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm sorry about that.
Well,
Next episode, we'll do better.
yeah. We'll talk about Chicago.
Good town.
I just love the nose on this so much.
What gave me the little tingles?
Yeah, but it doesn't like overpower.
No,
it doesn't
no.
overpower. Like, I always get a lot of brown sugar.
Yeah. Caramel.
Yeah. Like, it reminds me of like a snickerdoodle.
Yep.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Snickerdoodles are great.
one of my favorite cookies.
What's your favorite cookie?
Either peanut butter
Okay.
or just straight like sugar.
Wow. Mm-hmm. No love for chocolate chip.
See, I'm a big fan of chocolate chip.
No, I do.
too.
I do like chocolate chip.
I
It's
like
in
a
my
good
top
savory
10.
chocolate chip.
It's in my top 10,
I mean,
but
I
it's
don't know
not.
if I can name 10
Yeah,
cookies.
that's
It's obviously
crazy,
just
Barry.
like exists.
Yeah, like
Chocolate chip.
maybe
number
top
one.
3.
Double
Sugar,
chocolate chip number 2.
peanut butter, chocolate chip,
Yeah.
snickerdoodle,
Yeah.
shortbread.
All right. Fortune.
Okay, that's fine.
Like we're getting real.
Fortune. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get to 10. Oatmeal.
Okay.
Oatmeal raisin.
Oh, you don't count them as two separate.
Molasses.
What'd you say?
Molasses.
Molasses cookie?
Yeah.
Is that-
Okay,
that's
sure.
just-
Molasses
that's just a
cookie.
sugar cookie.
That's
Hold
9.
on.
No. That's 9. I need a 10th one.
I have one, but I'm not going to give it to you.
Sugar
I
snap.
have 2 that I'm not going to give to you.
Oh shoot.
I have 3 I'm not going to give to you.
Lemon. Lemon cookies.
Oh, I didn't
Chocolate
think of lemon.
macadamia.
Yeah. So that's 10.
Double chocolate chip, M&M, which I think
Yeah.
exists in its own right,
Yeah.
and a no-bake cookie. Shout out to a no-bake
Oh,
cookie.
okay.
Cookie,
Sure.
yeah.
I can't believe that I just went through that thing that I just did.
So the nose.
Anyway, the nose smells fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. There's also some like I would say like light milk chocolate on the nose too.
Which Perry doesn't like.
I never said I don't like milk chocolate.
About
I
the
love
sugar cookie,
I
the
prefer-
worst cookie. Sugar cookie, easily the worst cookie. It's
Okay.
just the base for every cookie.
Okay, here's the thing. Sugar cookie when it's done right. Like there is a very specific level of like
Like a chewy.
yeah.
I can't do Chewbacca. Yeah, thank you. That was much better.
That waveform was really interesting.
I'm sure.
Anyway, sorry. I just think the nose is super inviting and like it's 94 proof. It's not super high.
Passes the candle test.
I would
Yeah.
say so too. Yeah. But anyway, on the palate. There's not as much burn on
No.
the palate as you would expect from the nose. And honestly, I think the nose might be the best part of this.
I could see that.
Wherein like the palate doesn't quite live up to what the nose presents. And it does still have some of those flavors, but they don't really present themselves until the finish.
This is going to sound
shows up.
strange, but walk with me.
I'm
I mean, I've said tomato soup on the
do
show.
we need to hold
before, so-
hands or
Nah. This has the same
Can
intensity.
we hold hands?
Yes, of
Okay,
course. It's 2018.
waffling though?
This has the same intensity as like a strong bourbon ball. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It is that subdued.
I would get that.
Yeah.
Where it's like it has all the flavors of bourbon, but it really doesn't have a lot of the hallmarks of it, I guess. I almost thought like a bourbon candy or something. Like it's
Sure.
It's not got a lot of burn, which I view as a plus in a way, but as a minus in another. It's not very strong. It's a weaker tasting bourbon. Again, that's fine with me, but it's not as much a punch as like the Nom Creek we just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
At the 94 proof. I mean,
Sure, of course.
I think that it has a lot of flavor for 94 proof.
Yeah, again, I think it has the
I-
flavors of bourbon, but not the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
Punch.
flavor. Yeah. The flavor of bourbon you definitely get. It's the heat that you don't
Yeah.
receive.
Yeah.
But I like it for that sense, in that it being an
Me too.
everyday bourbon.
Me too.
Because every day I don't want to have, like, I just want something that I can enjoy and have the flavor of
Yeah, I don't want
bourbon.
to be punched every day. I'd be bruised.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I feel about this too, is that it gets the job done in terms of like experience,
Yeah.
but it's not going to. You're not fighting with it to really find anything that you enjoy, because I just think that it's.
It's
I think
well-rounded.
that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
going to say, is that it's very well rounded. I mean, I think that the experience is like it. It's not that it's consistent all the way through, because, like I said, the palate does kind of lack a little bit, but like I think that it's enjoyable
Yeah.
overall.
And I think, and correct me if you think I'm wrong on this.
If I'm wrong,
If you are wrong,
correct you if I'm
correct
wrong.
your damn self.
Exactly. If you think I'm wrong on this, so somebody that's just getting into bourbon or like thinks they know a little bit about a bourbon, you ask them what their favorite bourbon is, and they always say Woodford.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because it's well rounded. You know,
It's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible. They drink it and they're like, oh, this is very enjoyable. It's not heat. It's not, you know, and they're just introduced to the flavors of it.
Yeah.
I think this is like a step up for the person that really knows bourbon.
Absolutely.
And that you go, oh, what's your, you know, your everyday bourbon or something that you really enjoy? What's your, like, well-rounded? And Elijah Craig, small batch.
I have to agree. And, like, I think you're getting a lot more for Elijah Craig than you do with Woodford. Because,
exactly.
I mean,
I like Woodford.
Woodford runs what, like $35, $40, right?
Yeah, 35-ish.
This, the highest I've ever seen it at is $30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think I got it for $25.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
that's what I'm meaning. Like the person that knows bourbon pretty well and has a developed palate is going to be like, oh, Elijah Craig, because it has more flavor, has more of the developed, you know, profile. Whereas Woodford is well rounded, but it's not quite as complex as Elijah Craig.
I'm gonna make another metaphor. This to me is like if you took two sandwiches, right? I'm trying to make it so that people that don't know what we're talking about in Notes of Bourbon, they can understand their conversation. So if you took two sandwiches, right? One is just a really awesome, I don't know, chicken sandwich, right? The other one is also good, but has a lot of hot sauce on it.
Okay.
You may say the one with hot sauce has more unique flavor to it and more different flavor and maybe a better impact as a sandwich.
Sure.
But I still think I would prefer the regular sandwich that's just really good without the hot sauce.
Yeah.
I think that's this bourbon. I think that
Yeah.
without the spice, I don't think that takes away from it. I could see how some people could view that as a downgrade, but I think, to Curtis's point, I think it's well rounded. I think it serves all the purposes it needs to as a bourbon.
Yeah. I don't think that you could present this to anybody and have them go, oh, I don't like it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing we said. It's well rounded, which implies that it is pleasing to most people, if not everyone, who is technically a bourbon drinker.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I would be really surprised. I would be really surprised if somebody had this and they were like, it's just not for me.
Because then probably bourbon's not for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have an aversion to this, you might have an aversion to most bourbons.
So, like I said,
bourbon.
this for me was about $25 or $26, I think.
Okay.
Which will factor into your review. And if you're new to the show, or you need a refresher, we have a review system of nose, palate, finish, and price. Or as Chad likes to abbreviate it,
Oh, really?
never pull fleshy piercings.
Okay.
Jesus, Chad.
Yeah. Take it up with him, not with me. But it is an acronym to help you remember. But we've also done never pay full price.
That one's good.
You know,
Yeah, that one's good.
I think that's
Never
good
pay
for
full price.
Yeah, but also, you know, somebody's going to remember it based on never pull fleshy piercings.
Ugh.
Oh, I know. I agree with you.
That hurts.
I'm not condoning it. No, literally, it does hurt.
Jesus.
Anyway, so our review system is 4-tiered. It's nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5, and at the end we tally everything up to a total out of 20. And then we let you know whether or not you should buy this. So who wants to go first?
You.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, you usually do. So.
As the baby. So this is a good bourbon. I'm going to start that with this. With that, rather.
I got you.
Nose. The nose is pleasant. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Palate. I'm also going to give a 4. I think this is what you come for a bourbon.
Yeah.
Finish. None really to speak of. So I think that's the weak point here. But I don't think having no finish makes it a bad finish. I think that's desirable in some senses, especially as like a normal everyday bourbon. So I'm going to make that a 3.
Okay.
And I think the price is a 5. I think that's one of the better priced per bourbons that we've done.
It's not very often that you give anything
a 5.
a 5, or that you're like, yeah, this is
and
worth
especially
it.
the price.
Yeah, of course. I am a cynic when it comes to price, and I think this is worth it. I've bought lesser bourbons at a more expensive price tag and felt satisfied with my purchase.
Yeah.
So I think this, with being a better bourbon at a lower price tag, is really nice. I was surprised with the price you said because I didn't know.
You're at 16 out of 20.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I basically feel the same way about it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Kurt.
Yeah, I would say the nose. I really enjoyed the nose. I mean, like you said, it gives you everything. It's like, it's just everything you want. And so I'll give the nose I'll give it a 4.
Yeah.
And then the palate's where I'm going to probably say a 3.5. Just because it doesn't live up to the nose. You're sitting there and you're going, oh, I'm so pumped. And then you try it and you're like, oh, this is still really good, but it's not quite where
I'm missing what I was expecting. Yeah.
And then the finish, I'll say a 3.
Okay.
Just because, like you said, the finish, there's really nothing to speak of. It's not bad. There's no bad finish.
Right.
It's just not necessarily there.
Yeah.
You might have a little bit, of course, but nothing that's going to stick out. And then price, I mean, I have to give that a 5 too.
Wow. That's incredible. Spoilers, we've all given it a 5 on
Really?
on the price.
I mean, that's just a good price tag for a really good bourbon.
I think it is too. For me, on the nose, I actually gave it a 4.5. It's so different. It's so complex. Have you guys ever had Elijah Craig Barrel Proof?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. It's... So, we're sitting here going, this is, kind of what we expect with bourbon, and it's not going to displease anybody. But, like, with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, it takes everything that we like about this, and it ramps it up. And it becomes, I wouldn't say the perfect bourbon, because it's not.
Sure.
But it's so close to being what I fully expect when I pick up a glass.
It's like the perfect version of Elijah Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Also, Kurt, your total score was 6.5. Yours was a 15.5 out of out of 20. It's hard to find a whole lot better than that, unless it's BTAC, unless it's something
BTAC,
something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so this nose for me is so exciting, and I really wanted the palate to live up to what the nose was going to be, but it just didn't. It didn't meet it, but the palate was still really, really enjoyable. So I'm actually going to have to give it a 3.5. I originally had a 3. No, I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
I just, it is missing a little bit, but I don't think that it's lacking necessarily. I think that's like an important distinction. Like I'm not going, oh gosh, I really wish that it had this or that. Yeah, exactly. So a 4 for me on the palate, 4 on the finish actually as well. And I could probably go a little bit higher on the finish, but the only reason that I'm backing off on that is because it's not very immediate. Like I do kind of have to think a little bit more about it. And everything that I was hoping for with the nose shows up on the finish, I think. But it's just not... it's not a 5.
Sure. Yeah.
But like I said, the price is a 5 for me. I mean, $26... It's not going to put you out too much.
Yeah, that's a good price for that.
Anywhere from 8 to 12 years old. 94 proof.
This is the first time on this podcast that I've been like, next time I'm in the store looking for bourbon, I'm grabbing this bourbon. Because the price is not easy, but it's affordable.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not any more than I expect to pay for bourbon for a really good bourbon.
Yeah.
And I think that's as much praise as I can give something.
My total score was a 17.5 out of 20.
Wow. Okay.
Which I think all three of us is a recommendation.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
for
You know,
sure.
Go
Yes.
buy this. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to. This was a
As soon
sales
as you
pitch for
leave.
me, and
Yeah.
it worked.
So go out and buy Elijah Craig small batch. It just really is so hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know,
is.
I mean, I'm looking forward to. I have a half a bottle left. I'm looking forward to buying my next bottle.
I
Right.
honestly might go buy one tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. Yeah.
Just because
I'm blown away by that
just
price.
because I have
Yeah.
Basil Hayden and I kind of want to just
Not.
But I think too that once you put it up against something that is that low of a proof, you're really gonna start going. Yeah, now I know why I don't like 80 proof bourbons.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I mean, when was the last time that you guys had an 80 proof bourbon where you were like, this is really good?
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Well, I will say the only time that I've had is Jim Beam Choice,
Interesting.
which isn't even made anymore.
right.
It's a year older than Jim Beam White. You've had it.
Yes.
And actually, I think you
I've
might
had
have had
it
it
too.
too. Yeah,
Yes.
because we did it on the show.
yeah.
To wrap up the whatever the previous episode was before. But it's not made anymore,
Right.
so it
That
doesn't.
just goes to show.
Yeah, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But there are so few 80 proof bourbons where I'm going, this is great. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drink it every day.
Yeah,
Put it up against anything.
Right.
And I think really that like the lowest I want to go is 90 proof. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that this will stand up.
yes, you should definitely get
You
it.
know.
Buy this.
should
I'm
be
going
a,
to.
This should
Yeah.
be a
That's the best recommendation I can give anything.
this should be a
I wanna
staple.
purchase this.
Yeah, this should be a staple in your bourbon bar.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
And I like again, I can't wait to buy another bottle of
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Maybe next episode we'll do. I got a little bit of an Elijah Craig barrel proof left. I think we'll do that to
That sounds cool.
kind of round things out.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what you guys think about the comparison
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
between the two.
Yeah. So to recap, you had
16.
all right. I had 15 and a half.
Yeah, and I had 17 and a half.
Gotcha.
So-
yeah, I mean that's
That's
Hearty
like
recommendation.
That's like
Yes.
ringing endorsements.
Yes.
I think aside from
Yes.
going like 20 out of 20.
Sure.
You know,
Exactly.
we're all pretty on board with this one.
and this is just to.
No,
this
it's okay,
has
go
nothing
on.
to do with like the review or anything. But I was talking to my friend and he was saying, he was like, to me, bourbon, like just, there might be a few little different notes, but it all just tastes kind of the same to me. Like, I don't see how anyone can kind of, distinguish between this. And I kind of explained, I was like, yeah, I mean, I understand because you just haven't, I mean, you've had good bourbon and you had stuff like that, but you haven't really sat down and had the,
Yeah.
experience of it. And so I told him, I was like, next time what we're going to do is we're going to have a blind taste test. Because he was like, I can't distinguish between the two. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you should definitely, we're going to do a blind taste test between like 2 or 3 bourbons.
'Cause then you know.
then you definitely will have that distinction.
And I think like what's important with that too is what you have to do is give him or her, I don't know who it is.
It's a him.
Okay. Give him like the worst you can think of.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best that is accessible to you. And
then
somewhere
a middle.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Elijah Craig is right in the
Right in the
middle.
middle.
Yes.
You know, in terms of,
Exactly.
really trying to determine
And
what you like.
It's interesting because he's had, like, from the lowest of the low to the middle of the middle to the highest of the high.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
And he just
I wonder if it's
doesn't-
the time difference, right? Like it's hard to compare things.
I guess
It is.
a week or two ago.
It
Yes, I guess
absolutely
that's
is.
it. But like I've given, he's tried just the Willet pot still,
Yeah.
and then I've given him some of the BTAC,
The William LaRue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then in college, like we used to drink, Kentucky
KG,
Gentleman.
yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely has had the range of like good to bad,
Yeah, of
like
course.
good to great.
Of course.
And it's just interesting that they still say that sometimes. It's like, it has to be, I guess, that it's so far
Distance,
in distance.
And I think that you don't know what you like until you don't know what you're drinking.
Yeah.
That's
know?
a good point.
Honestly,
You know,
yeah.
That's a really good
really
point.
like
That's salient. Yeah.
I've had things before where like I've tried it knowing what I was drinking. A good experience or a good example is Old Forester Statesman.
Is that the?
It came out with Kingsman.
Yes, thank
Secret.
you.
There,
The Kingsman.
the-
It's Brown Foreman, right?
yes,
Yes.
It's
Which
Old,
I did
it's Old
not
Forester.
like.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The very first time I had it, which was on an Uncorking with Chad and Sarah, It's Bourbon Night. Go find that on YouTube. I'll link it below in the description. I tried it and I said it was really awful. I then did it blind, and I really liked it.
Huh.
But then I did a fresh pour with my dad, and hated it again.
Huh. Interesting.
So there's something to be said about revisiting
Yes.
things that you think you don't like.
Yeah.
too.
Your tastes change,
But-
and there's a lot of things that could change
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Weather,
Because
humidity,
when
etc.
because I think we tried it too.
The Statesman?
I think so. Maybe it wasn't the Statesman. Maybe it
When?
was. Maybe it wasn't the Statesman, but it was. We had it. It was at my house, and
Was this when I was there?
yeah. It was
Oh no!
Maybe it wasn't-
1920. You're thinking of the 1920.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
not
right,
the
that's right,
yeah.
that's right, that's right.
yeah, not the Statesman.
Yeah. No,
The 1920. I was not that fan.
we need to revisit the 1920. I mean, in a bad way. We need to buy a new bottle of it
Yeah.
and
We gotta get
try it
back.
again because like I know that I have had it before and been like, this is exactly what I want.
Okay.
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
So we'll. Nice.
The cat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the cat. We'll revisit that in the future. And also, by episode 50, I think what we need to do. We're at 26 right now.
Yeah, halfway there.
Yay! I think episode 50, we need to revisit our first episode.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to do another blind
'cause I think
flight.
Personally
Okay.
speaking, my palate has evolved.
Yeah.
Just through doing this show.
Yeah, and I think that
Mine definitely has.
Yeah, and
Even more so.
Yeah, and I think we need to eliminate any variables. So we come in with 3 fresh bottles
Okay. Got
and
it.
3 fresh pours and
Yep.
everything,
Yep.
and make sure that we haven't had it within like a week or two
Right, so
or
we can
anything.
pick it out.
Yeah, exactly, and just completely readdress our
What we
very
thought we
first.
As
Yeah,
blind as blank could get.
yeah, because I think that we're gonna have something completely different from what we said on episode 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So be on the lookout. They'll probably be in September or October.
Jeez.
It's May
fast.
now.
Yeah.
It's May now. Yeah, we've been doing this for 6 months,
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Interesting.
I mean, I've jumped around from guest to guest
Sure.
with these episodes,
Sure,
but overall, we're at the 6 month mark. So maybe we'll do something else kind of special for the
The year.
the year anniversary. So
Yeah,
if you
makes
have
sense.
any ideas, tweet into us at My Bourbon Pod, which is new again.
Much simpler. I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too, and we'll take it into consideration. But anyway, ring an endorsement for Elijah
Yes.
Craig's small batch.
Yes.
Yes.
I think. And I kind of want to pour another glass so that I'm not.
I'm gonna go buy one
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
have more.
I'm just imagining you guys like driving together to the liquor
Just
store.
riding together, yeah.
Yeah, and
You want some?
anyway, so that about wraps it up for our review segment of
Yes.
the show. So now we have to move on to tips and bits.
Bow.
Guys, do you have tips and bits for this week?
I do. Do you want to go first, Curtis? Do you want me to go?
Let's just keep with the consistency.
All right. So I'm going to recommend a book. Sometimes I read
Books are for nerds.
literature.
Books are for nerds.
This one's a picture book, so it's okay.
Is it the Harry Potter picture book
No, I've not read any Harry Potter or seen the movies.
at all?
I've seen.
Period?
I saw Sorcerer's Stone as a kid, and that's it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. Bring
Why?
it on.
Look at you.
Are you ever gonna?
No, I think so. I tried watching the second Harry Potter film, which is not a name is
So-
not coming to me. I saw Sorcerer's Stone.
Chamber of Secrets. Is the second
Sure.
one.
Tried watching it, and I was like, I am not 14, and this is not going to hit with
Okay,
me.
I just want to... You know what? It's fine.
The book I'm going to recommend is called Uncredited, and it's about the opening sequences to movies, the title sequences. It's a design
We've
book.
talked about this.
Have we? I don't think I've
Yes.
recommended it officially. Have I? Surely I've not.
You got it for Christmas.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Did I recommend it, though?
Yes, you recommended it. I
well.
think in the very first recommendations. Before it was tips and bits, it was recommendations.
All right,
That's
well,
all.
I'm,
even if you
I'm
didn't
reading it now.
Even if you didn't recommend it, you...
Mentioned it?
Mentioned it.
Yeah, well, that sucks. All right, then I want to recommend God of War, which just came out on PS4.
I know the ending.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
Ruin it for him.
Please don't. I'll leave. I'm about 10 hours into it now. It's fantastic. It is arguably the best PS4 game. Horizon Zero Dawn is a close second, but I think God of War is going to surpass it. If you're a gamer, definitely check it out. It's not it pays enough homage to the old God of War games. I'm sorry, Perry just got the most befuddling news alert or something on his phone.
Yeah, because Sherlock Holmes 3 is getting a 2020 release date.
Like RDJ?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that series was dead.
Me too. Huh.
Anyway, breaking news.
Yeah, that's going to be like a week old by the time you hear this.
No, it's coming out 2 days after we record.
Just kidding. It's going to be like 2 days old. I don't know our schedule. I'm just here when you tell me to show up. So
I'm aware.
Yeah, God of War. Good. It's a good game. Go buy it. I'm sad I recommend it uncredited now because I'm finally reading it. It's awesome.
No,
That's funny.
We definitely have talked about it before. I don't know. I don't know if it was
I
a
hadn't cracked into it
recommendation
until this Sunday.
because tips and bits used to be recommendations
That's
for
true.
you know longtime listeners.
It's
So-
very cool. It's interesting to me very quickly. As the three of us are designers, we're all familiar with Saul Bass's work.
We
but-
are. Just kidding.
I hope so.
I just sit around on my thumbs all day.
So Saul Bass was the only connection I had to credit design, and it's interesting because even like credit design nerds see it as before Saul Bass, after Saul Bass.
Yep.
So I thought that was really interesting.
Yep.
As you were.
Yeah. So it's not even going to be a recommendation. It's just going to be a tip. Or like a little,
A bit.
little
A
fun.
bit.
It's going to be, a bit. It's going to be a fun fact.
Yeah.
So, speaking of going on the tradition of the Kentucky Derby,
Yeah.
how much do you think the most expensive horse that has ever been sold at Keeneland anyway?
I'm going to say $3.6 million.
That was a very specific figure.
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
I'm going to say $4.2 million.
All right, you guys ready for the actual answer?
I'm really scared because you didn't
I'm going to guess it's like in
flinch.
double digits.
Did
at
you
our
notice
single.
he didn't even flinch
Yeah,
when
he
we
wasn't
said
like,
our
oh man,
numbers?
y'all were too high.
yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
13 million.
Wow.
Oh my
For
God.
one horse, it was a yearling, which means it just was born.
That's
It's
a
a
pig.
year old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has no proven history of racing. It's
No
all
parents.
solely
solely based on pedigree. It was so the reason it paid so much was it was out of a the sire was, I forget the actual name of it. I'll figure it out and then we can put it in the notes.
We'll post it.
But 13 million.
Jeez.
Guess how much that horse won in its lifetime of racing?
0 races.
I'm going to say one.
$13,000.
That's nothing.
Jesus.
That is nothing.
That was
Yep.
like a 90% drop.
Yep.
It made 10%
At
of what it
least.
was paid, right? That did
What
math
was-
right? No, 1%.
Wait, how many races did it win then?
1%.
I don't know the stats on how many he won.
I mean,
but
it-
that could have been like he got second. He could have not won
Right,
at all.
right.
No, that's true.
It made 1% of what it was paid.
So just a
This
little
is why I don't.
Yeah, imagine having enough money to be like, yeah, 13 million, yeah, that's fine.
just a little Kentucky Derby fun fact, sort of.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, have you guys seen Infinity War yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't say
I haven't,
spoilers,
I
though.
haven't, I
I'm not
haven't.
gonna-
I
I'm not going to
Spoilers.
spoil anything.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
not going to
because
spoil
I have
anything.
not.
I have.
Would you want to do a spoiler episode?
Maybe.
of like Bourbon Podcast, but where we talk
Yeah,
about
not today, but maybe.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We'll figure it out.
Sure.
Because I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, I've seen it twice now. I'm going to see it a third time, I think, this week.
I've seen it once, but I'll probably see it again.
It's so good.
It is very good.
But I will say, though, my recommendation is to watch every other movie before you see Infinity War, because it does reward you for having kept up with every single Marvel movie so far.
So I had not seen, coming into it, I did see before I saw it, but like in the weeks leading up to it, I had to recap on, I hadn't seen any of the Captain America movies, including Civil War.
Really?
Which was interesting, yeah. So I saw, because I didn't think, so I really started getting into Marvel movies like hardcore, like around, like I saw everyone in theaters since Ant-Man except for Civil War, because I was like, I've not seen the other two Captain America films. I can't see this, even though it's an Avengers film.
Yeah.
So like I watched all of those leading up to, that was really nicely rewarded in the Captain America stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I've not seen the first or second Thor, I think I can avoid those. I've heard they're a snooze fest. I've read the plot synopses of them. I know that there's like some Infinity Stone stuff in it, but other than that, like it's not really that important.
The first one is pretty good.
Okay.
Second one is not good.
Second one's Natalie Portman, right? Or is the first one Natalie Portman?
Both 1 and 2 are Natalie Portman.
Oh, Natalie Portman's in both.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Third one is what we've been...
Thor Ragnarok's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't see 1 or 2.
Yeah, we've all been calling Thor Ragnarok Thor the best Thor.
Yeah, that's good.
But I think that... and I have to recommend, too, because they did a whole episode on what are the essential MCU films before you go see Infinity War. The Weekly Planet did an episode a couple weeks ago on what matters going into it. Yeah. And like the consensus was most of the Captain America movies.
Yes. I would say, having not seen them up into this one, they all matter.
You know, I would say even too, like the first Iron Man is really the most worthwhile.
Yeah.
And not worthwhile, but the most like, necessary.
Called back.
Yeah. And of course, like, Spider-Man Homecoming was in there too.
Yes.
And,
so my
Thor
boss
Ragnarok
had not seen Spider-Man, and he made sure to watch it before he saw Avengers.
I love Spider-Man.
Me too. Homecoming. And he was like, I was so glad I watched it, is what he said. Yeah. Because there's that whole dynamic there.
And you don't have the connection to Spider-Man in Infinity War that you would if you hadn't seen it. So Curtis, if you've not seen Spider-Man Homecoming, you really need to see it before you go see
Tom
Infinity
Holland's
War.
fantastic.
I think he's the best Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easily.
Yep. Absolutely.
I have, so.
Okay, good.
Well, that's good.
And then I'm going to say, because they have a new season coming out in a couple of weeks, Arrested Development.
Yeah. Never peeped.
And I'm going to recommend Strangers. Oh, it's already out.
Oh, it's been out. It's out in the UK right now, though.
Oh, there you go.
Shout out to the UK for being one of our one of the countries with the most downloads behind the US. But anyway, yeah, Arrested Development's coming out with a new season in a few weeks. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And they just put out on this past Friday, a remix of season 4.
Yeah, I was reading about this.
So season 4 of Arrested Development came out in I think 2015.
This was the first Netflix season, correct?
Yes, their first Netflix season. It completely departed from their typical style that they had on network.
Sure.
And people were not happy with it. And the remix of season 4, I have one episode left, has fixed all the problems that I had with.
It's gutsy for them to do that.
It is
to try it,
and we've all kind of been clamoring for it. As a fandom.
Sure.
I hate that word, but
fan base.
Yeah, sure. Fan base.
Trying to go
as a fan base, we've all been clamoring for trying to put it more into a chronological order, because it was really, really choppy.
Gotcha.
And when I mean I think originally
episode to episode, or in each episode?
Episode to well, both actually.
Okay.
Because the first episode of the original season 4 started out at the end of season 4.
Oh, so
then they dialed back and said this is how things have started. But each episode went back and forth between those.
Got it.
to where it was like,
It was total Pulp Fiction.
yeah. And this remix has fixed those problems,
Interesting.
I think. So it's gotten me excited for season 5, which is coming out on the 29th. If you like Arrested Development, you're going to get it. But this is another thing that really rewards you for having stuck with, everything that they've done so far. Because I was saying to somebody today, like, even in the 4th season, they're making callbacks to episode 1.
That's cool.
So there's something to be said about a show that is that self-aware.
Yeah.
We're all about consistency and,
Right.
liking what you like.
Yeah.
So I think that Arrested Development is something that a lot of people who listen to this show could kind of latch on to.
Yep.
But anyway, those are my 2. I was going to recommend something else, but I'll wait until... Actually, you know what? I'm going to recommend it because it's so funny, and I'll link it in the description. Have you guys ever seen the ads, the outtakes for ads that Orson Welles did for a wine company?
Yes.
It's the funniest thing in the
world. Because he
world.
gets drunk as hell.
Yes, he does.
And it's awesome because he's a muttering
Yeah, I've
mess.
seen this too. Yeah.
it's great.
They say action, and it takes them a full 3 or 5 seconds to actually get into the scene.
It's
and
fantastic.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm going to link that the very specific one I'm talking about in this description as well. But anyway, that's my last.
Yeah.
Go watch
And
This Is
while-
America.
And
Yes, absolutely.
I was waiting for one of y'all to say it. So
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I was about to say it, but I feel like I always recommend music, so I wanted to switch it up.
We do.
But yes, This Is America, Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
What'd you-
Janelle Monáe's new album is
Yes.
also great.
What did
Great.
you think about the music video?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
The cinematography on that was awesome.
Yeah.
And it just impactful. Just
Yeah.
everything. Honestly, everything Donald Glover does.
Yes.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I
agree.
have not been disappointed by anything he has ever done.
No, I haven't either.
I was disappointed by Awaken My Love, but other than that,
Even then,
Really?
yep,
I wasn't.
Was it because you had expectations?
another rap
for-
album.
rap album.
Yeah, I want to.
Simple
I
as
want.
that. I know it's selfish, but
I want to. Yeah, I want to rap it.
I think he's a better rapper than he is an R&B artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but I think that and I've said this about the last couple of Black Keys albums, where I would say they're good albums, but they're not good Black Keys albums.
Sure.
I think that Awaken My Love was a really good album, but it just wasn't a good.
See, I disagree
Childish
with you.
Gambino.
I don't think it's a great album.
Really?
I've listened to it again with the mindset of this is a new artist to me, and I love
This is
people.
America.
Yeah. And I'm just like, it's all right. It's okay. I've heard. Again, I love Childish. I listen to Camp. Gosh, probably once.
Have you listened
once a
to
month.
that EP?
Yeah, the remixed one. Yeah,
so good.
It's very good.
See,
I've
that's
heard it
why
yet.
I think that this, if or when
I am
he
hopeful
puts-
for this album.
Yeah, if or whenever he puts that new album out, that thing is
Get
gonna
ready.
be
It's going to
Just-
be ridiculous.
fire. Just gonna be it's gonna blow my mind.
I mean, I think it. I
'Cause
think it
I
will
think-
too.
It could hit to Pimp a Butterfly status.
yes.
Wow.
Because I
It
agree.
could. He has the potential.
That's-
I agree.
that's high.
I agree.
That's
because
high
I
praise.
think Camp was his rap album that was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then because the internet, of course, that was like what made him.
His penultimate album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Awaken My Love, this is him just experimenting, just doing whatever
Doing what he wants.
doing what he wants to see how things
Yeah.
work. And then I think this one is going to be a good mesh of both.
If we could get back to the balance of Because of the Internet, because he does R&B stuff on Because of the Internet, but he has a lot of rap tracks too.
I think it's going to be better.
I hope if he gets back to that balance with the sort of level of woke that he's experiencing right now,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be insane.
yeah.
Because they did have kind of shades of his wokeness
Sure.
on Awaken My Love.
Yeah.
But I think that it was almost like Awaken My Love was a little bit premature in its release. In terms of lyricalness, I don't know if that's a word or not.
Yeah.
But I think that Awaken My Love is that perfect cross section. Or excuse me, This Is America is the perfect
Yes.
cross section.
It's more like
between-
Because of the Internet stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm so excited
Me
for
too.
Yeah.
the next one.
And I think
because the internet was
This is my Gambino podcast.
Yeah.
yeah. I think because the internet was just not quite there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
For me.
That for me is the like, I love Camp to death, but I think that because the internet is the best thing he's put out.
I have to agree.
Yes.
And I think
I agree. I just don't think it's where I wanted it to be.
Well, I think that
where he could go.
Yeah.
I think that because the internet is the most like accessible of his albums.
I agree with
that.
And not it, and like people say accessible meaning that like it's not as high quality or that it it just doesn't live up to the expectations, but I think that he has really kind of found his home on because the internet.
Yes,
I think Camp that just was like the way I see Camp was like it was his awkward teenage years.
Yeah.
And Camp is really when he
was.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and he's rebellious, and Tyler, the Creator's done something similar, right? Where it's like,
and
he used to hate everything, and now it's just like, all right, let's make music.
And with Camp too, he gets over his like constantly having to talk about how he was somewhere between White and Black, and somewhere between 30 Rock with Tina Fey, and getting onto his own game.
Yeah,
and I think, and that's what I'm saying too, is that because the internet really is just the culmination of everything up to that point, and then past that, he could do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah,
and it sucks that the album that's about to come out is going to be his last one.
Yeah,
because we know that like he has more left in him.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I never take anyone for face value. Like, this is my last album.
Yeah.
Take 5 years off and then he'll come back.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. Or if it is, he's going to be doing just a million other great things.
Yeah, it's like Logic said that his next album is his last, but he's not counting his mixtapes. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
This is just everything you're going to release is going to be a mixtape. Okay, cool. I love you, Logic, but that's stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our tips and bits became the Gambino portion of the show.
Yeah.
So, guys, first off, I want to say thank you all for being here with the show. We have made it a quarter of a century through. Well, that's not true. We made it to.
I was gonna say none of us are.
Wow.
Jesus.
We made it.
I'm not even there yet.
Yeah, me neither.
We made it a quarter of the way to 100 and halfway to 50 so far. And again, like. I just want to say thank you to everybody who listens and comments and shares and, is a fan of the show, because we wouldn't do it if we had, a couple people a week.
Yeah.
If we were
listening.
just us.
You guys are what make this happen every single week. With that being said, too, if you support us with your ears, which is a weird phrase.
Just a bunch of ears stacked up.
You can
you just support us.
You can also support us, of course, by sharing and telling your friends, or by becoming a patron of the show on patreon.com/this is my bourbon podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can keep us going. I think a lot of people think that podcasting is free, and it's not.
There was a great article recently, or a great thread recently by Paul F. Tompkins, talking about how different the culture and the economy of podcasts.
Yeah.
And then some of the McElroys were getting in on that too. It's really interesting to see that.
I mean, we do take time out of our days, away from loved ones and, jobs and everything in order to be able to do this. And if you enjoy what we do, we want to, ask for your help. That was a weird way of phrasing that. But we do want to keep doing this for as long as we possibly can.
Sure.
And, I think that this is, as bourbon kind of is, a community. So anyway, head to patreon.com/this is my bourbon podcast if you would like to help us out on a monthly basis. We would really appreciate it. All that being said, Tanner and Curtis, where can people find you on social media?
Primarily, I'm at Dorm Streams, which is the thing I stream video games on twitch.tv/dormstreams. Dorm Streams everywhere. I'm easy.
All right. And then on Instagram, I'm KurtCon, and Twitter, Kurt_Con15.
Very nice. Personally, I am at pritter1492 on just about every social media platform. If you want to find the show, we are now at My Bourbon Pod. on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. If you would like to buy some of our merch, you can head to threadless.com/mybourbonshop, where you can find all of our official shirts and apparel and everything, I guess.
Torso covers.
We have skull caps.
Still with Draplins.
Anyway, I've already hit Patreon, so I don't have to do that. But I'll do it. Patreon.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast. We would really appreciate any help that you guys can give. Thank you all so much for listening to this show. I'm super touched by any kind of commitment. Whoa!
Sorry.
All right, my mic's.
Curtis decided to be touched by touching the mic.
Really though, you guys are the reason that we do this, and we keep doing this on a weekly basis, and we really do appreciate it. We will see you next week. I have a special guest episode with one of my buddies, Robert Hanna, who's actually my drummer for a lot of my music stuff. And that was a very late episode that I did, very late at night. And I don't remember much of it.
Oh, good.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to edit. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, Tanner, Curtis, I looked at you guys oppositely when I said your name.
Tanner, Curtis.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Anyway, we will see you all next week. But until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Tanner.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.